All right, diving deep today. We're cracking open Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Oh, interesting choice.
Yeah, but not for like a get-rich-quick thing, you
Yeah,
know?
right.
More about how do millionaires actually think?
Yeah, that's what Harv Eker gets at, right? Like, it's not just the steps you take,
Just
it's the mindset.
no magic formula here,
Nope,
but be ready to rethink some stuff.
definitely.
Because we're going deep on financial thermostats, even like how cutting a ham the wrong way can reveal your money mindset.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good one.
I know, right? So Eker really goes beyond just budget this, invest that kind of advice.
Yeah, he says there's this whole inner blueprint for wealth.
Okay, break that down for me, this money blueprint thing.
So imagine a carpenter, right? Skilled one,
Okay, got it.
right? Tools, knowledge, experience.
Makes sense.
They can build something amazing,
Yeah.
but someone without those, even with the same materials, might struggle just to build a basic shed, you know?
Oh, interesting.
And Eker's saying it's the same with wealth.
So your inner tools are just as important as knowing about, like, stocks or whatever.
It's not just financial advice. Your inner tools, your beliefs, they're crucial.
So you could be doing all the right things financially, but if your, like, underlying beliefs are messed up.
You could sabotage yourself without even realizing it.
Wow.
That money blueprint, it's running in the background.
So where does this blueprint even come from? Like, are we just born with it?
Eker says it's shaped by experiences, especially childhood.
Okay, makes sense.
He talks about three big things: verbal programming, modeling, and specific incidents.
All right, unpack those a little.
So verbal programming, think about phrases you heard about money growing up.
Oh, man. Money doesn't grow on trees. That one for sure.
Classic, right? And it's not just the negative ones.
What do you mean?
Even seemingly harmless phrases, repeated over time, they sink in, shape how you think about money.
Like a subconscious script or something.
Exactly, and it's not just what was said.
Okay, what else then?
What wasn't said.
Like if your parents just avoided talking about money.
That silence can speak volumes too.
Huh. Never thought about it that way.
Right. And then there's modeling.
Okay, modeling.
We unconsciously pick up habits from our parents, like their money habits.
So it's not just what they tell us, but what they do.
Exactly. Eker has this funny example. Woman cutting the ends off a ham before cooking it.
Okay, why?
Asks her mom, why do you do that? Mom says, that's how my mom always did it.
Uh-huh. Okay, love it.
So they go to grandma.
Grandma's the source.
And grandma's like, my pan was too small.
Oh, no.
We inherit these patterns even if they make no sense.
That's wild, but it makes sense. You know, you just kind of absorb things.
Exactly. And then the third one, specific incidents.
What's that?
Emotionally charged experiences, especially in childhood, that link money to strong feelings.
Okay, I can see how that would be powerful.
Right. Eker tells this really poignant story about Josie, a nurse.
What happened to her?
She could never save money.
Huh.
Turns out, when she was 11, her father died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, heart attack, during a big argument about money.
Oh, wow. So she linked money with.
Pain, loss, yeah.
Yeah.
It drove her spending without her even realizing it.
That's heartbreaking. But I can see how those incidents, even if they happened a long time ago,
They stick with you.
yeah, they could really shape how you view money.
Exactly. So you've got these three forces shaping the money blueprint, verbal programming, modeling, and specific incidents.
It feels like it would be tough to break free from that.
It's a challenge,
Yeah.
but not impossible. That's where Eker's insights become really useful.
Okay, good, because that was getting kind of heavy.
Right, but he doesn't just point out the problem.
He gives you tools.
Exactly. But before we get to those, there's this other big concept, the financial thermostat.
Ooh, I've heard about that.
Have you?
Yeah, is it kind of like your comfort level with wealth?
You got it. Think of your home's thermostat.
Keeps the temperature steady.
Right. Eker says our minds have a financial thermostat, too.
So there's a level of wealth I'm comfortable with.
A level your subconscious works to keep you at.
So even if I'm working hard to earn more, my subconscious might be.
Sabotaging you.
Yeah.
It happens. Remember when Donald Trump had those huge financial setbacks?
Yeah, but he bounced back. Right.
Exactly. Eker uses that as an example of a high financial thermostat.
So even when things went bad.
His internal setting pulled him back up.
Huh. So someone's stuck in debt. Maybe it's not just bad luck.
Maybe their thermostat's set too low.
Whoa, that's kind of scary, but also good to know, because maybe you can change it.
That's the key. And that's where Eker's declaration technique comes in.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's a powerful tool.
Okay.
But to understand it, we got to talk about the 4 quadrants of existence that Eker outlines.
4 quadrants. Lay it on me.
Physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental.
Okay, I'm following.
He says if you only focus on the physical side of money, like numbers and strategies,
You're missing something.
you're missing the whole picture.
Okay, so it's like trying to bake a cake with only flour, no sugar or eggs.
Perfect analogy.
I try.
True wealth needs balance across all 4 quadrants.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection.
It's about how your emotions, your beliefs, even your spiritual values all tie into your financial well-being.
This is getting really interesting.
Right. Eker's not just giving financial tips.
It's deeper than that.
He's getting you to rethink your whole relationship with money.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, can you explain more about these 4 quadrants? Why are they so crucial?
Let's do it. But we'll have to save that for the next part of our deep dive.
All right, cliffhanger. Can't wait to hear more.
All right. Back into those 4 quadrants of existence we were talking about.
Okay, yeah, those were really intriguing.
Crucial to Eker's whole framework.
Remind me, what were they again?
Physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental.
Right.
And he links them all to our financial well-being. It's fascinating.
So the physical one, that's like pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the tangible stuff.
Well, money, possessions, all that.
Exactly, most obvious part of wealth.
Right.
But Eker says focusing only on that physical stuff
Can backfire.
can create imbalance.
So like someone working themselves to the bone, chasing money.
Ignoring everything else.
Yeah, their health, their relationships.
They might get rich, but...
still be miserable.
Exactly. True wealth, it's got to be balanced across all 4.
I'm starting to see how this ties into the whole money blueprint idea.
Right. It's all connected.
So what about the spiritual quadrant? Where does that fit in with money?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
It's about your sense of purpose, like connecting to something bigger than yourself.
Okay.
And Eker's saying when your financial goals are aligned with that.
With your purpose.
Yeah. That's where real motivation comes from.
Not just wanting more stuff.
It's deeper.
So it's about figuring out, why do I want to be wealthy?
Exactly. What's the meaning behind it? What will you do with that wealth?
So it's less about getting rich and more about...
living a fulfilling life, using money as a tool.
Wow, yeah, that's powerful.
Right. It's about aligning your finances with your values.
Okay, so we've got the physical, the spiritual. What about emotional? How do our feelings about money play into this?
Huge one. Eker says unresolved emotional issues, especially around money.
Can sabotage you.
Big time. Remember Josie, the nurse?
Yeah, whose dad died during an argument about money.
Right. So she linked money with pain, loss, and it affected her spending.
Makes sense.
Our emotional baggage can show up in all kinds of ways.
Like what?
Maybe you're afraid of success.
Really? Why would anyone be afraid of success?
Sometimes it's about feeling unworthy.
Yeah.
Or maybe you cling to debt, even if it's stressful, because it feels familiar, safe in a weird way.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it that way.
Eker says we got to address those emotional blocks.
How do you even do that?
Therapy can help, journaling,
Just getting those feelings out there.
even talking to trusted friends or family.
Okay, so acknowledging those wounds, finding healthy ways to heal.
Otherwise, they'll keep impacting your finances, no matter how much you earn.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. And then finally, the mental quadrant.
Okay, the mental game.
This is where your thoughts, beliefs, attitudes about money all live.
So this is where the money blueprint and the financial thermostat come in.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing those limiting beliefs
The ones we've inherited or maybe just picked up along the way.
and replacing them with empowering ones.
Easier said than done.
Right. Which is where Eker's declaration technique comes in. Remember that.
Yeah, but it's not just saying some affirmations and hoping for the best, right?
Definitely not. Eker talks about congruence.
Congruence.
Your actions gotta match your declarations.
Walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Exactly. If you're declaring abundance but clinging to scarcity habits, you're sending mixed signals.
So how do we bridge that gap? How do we actually live these new beliefs?
Small, consistent steps.
Okay, give me an example.
Say you're declaring financial freedom. Start setting aside a little bit each month to invest.
Even if it's just a small amount.
Every bit counts. Or finally launch that side hustle you've been dreaming about.
So taking action, even if it feels scary.
That's how you push past that financial thermostat setting, expand your comfort zone.
Because our subconscious is going to try and pull us back to what's familiar.
It will, but the more you take those aligned actions,
The stronger those new beliefs become.
and the more you expand your capacity for wealth.
This is making so much sense. So the 4 quadrants: Physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental, they all work together.
They create a holistic picture of wealth.
And each one influences the others.
Can't ignore any of them. It's about finding balance, harmony.
And that's where true wealth comes from.
That's where it resides.
Okay, so we've got these 4 quadrants. And we talked about those wealth files earlier, the differences in how rich people think.
Want to jump back into those?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, there's one that really stands out to me. It's wealth file, #7.
What's that one?
Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Sounds simple, but
There's a lot to unpack there.
it's all about your social circle.
You've heard that saying, right? You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
It's true. If you're surrounded by people who are always complaining about money,
Or stuck in a scarcity mindset.
it's hard to break free.
So it's not about ditching your friends who are struggling,
No, not at all.
but being more mindful of who's influencing you.
Exactly. Seek out mentors, role models, people who are already living the reality you want.
Their energy rubs off on you.
Their beliefs, their actions, it all helps raise your own financial thermostat.
Okay, I can see that.
And on the flip side,
Setting boundaries with people who might be bringing you down.
protecting your own energy, yeah. It's not about judging anyone.
Just choosing your influences wisely.
You know, it's interesting. Eker also talks about being a good receiver.
What does that mean? Like being open to help. Or gifts.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Wealth file, #10.
Okay, what's number 10?
Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers.
Huh, that sounds kind of strange.
It's about your capacity to receive abundance.
Not just money, but all good things.
Exactly. Letting go of that resistance.
The feeling of not being worthy.
And allowing good things to flow in.
A lot of people struggle with that, right?
They push away opportunities, feel undeserving.
Yeah, I've totally done that.
Eker challenges that. He says generosity needs to be balanced with self-worth.
That's really insightful.
And the more you receive, the more you have to give. It's a cycle.
Okay, let's look at one more wealth file if we have time.
All right, let's go with wealth file, #15.
What's that one say?
Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard for their money.
Oh yeah, the make money while you sleep idea.
That's it. Rich people understand their time is valuable.
So they're not trading time for money.
They invest in assets that generate income.
Real estate, stocks, businesses, that kind of thing.
While people stuck in the working hard for money trap are limited by how many hours they can work.
Right, they hit a ceiling.
Eker compares it to building a well for constant water versus carrying buckets back and forth.
That's a great analogy. It's about working smarter, not just harder.
Creating systems that work for you.
This is so inspiring. It's like you're not just a victim of circumstance.
You can create a life where money isn't this constant source of stress.
But a tool for freedom.
Exactly. It's all about financial education.
Learning how to make your money work for you.
It's empowering.
This is amazing. We're not even done yet, and I'm already feeling like I have a whole new perspective.
It's incredible how these wealth files all connect.
They create a whole mindset.
Eker's not giving you rigid rules. It's more like,
Invitations to think differently
see where you might be holding yourself back.
without beating yourself up.
Right. It's about awareness and then taking action.
Okay, we've covered so much ground. But Eker's goes even deeper, right? Like financial fears, managing risk.
Creating a fulfilling life.
Are we ready for the final part of our deep dive? Let's do it. I can't wait to see what else Eker has to share. Okay, final part of our deep dive into Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Can you believe how much we've already covered?
I know, right? Eker's book is so packed with insights.
It really is. And we've talked about the money blueprint, the wealth files.
Those 4 quadrants of existence, all that good stuff.
But you know, there's one thing we haven't touched on yet that holds so many people back.
What's that?
Fear.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fear of failure, fear of losing money.
Fear of making the wrong choice.
It can be paralyzing.
Totally.
And Eker addresses this head on.
Okay, good, because I was wondering about that.
He says, rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them.
It's easy to say that, but harder to actually do.
Right. It's not about being reckless.
But about calculated risks.
Exactly. So how do you shift that if you're naturally risk averse?
That's what I'm wondering.
Eker suggests a worst case scenario exercise.
What?
Ask yourself, what's the absolute worst that could happen?
Interesting.
Often, when you really look at it.
The fear isn't as big as you thought.
Right. And even if the worst does happen,
If you usually handle it.
we're more resilient than we give ourselves credit for.
That goes back to that I create my life mindset.
Exactly. Taking ownership even when things are uncertain.
Not playing the victim.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about fear, risk, but what about the bigger picture?
Yeah, like what's the point of all this wealth building? What's Eker's take on that?
He has this great line, money will make you more of what you already are.
That's profound.
It's not about the money itself.
It's what you do with it.
If you're already generous, wealth might amplify that.
But if you're greedy,
It could make you more greedy.
whoa, that's a scary thought.
That's why the inner work is so important.
Right, if your values aren't aligned with your goals.
You might achieve success, but still feel empty inside.
This is where those 4 quadrants come back in.
Right. Full circle. True wealth, it's holistic.
It's not just about the money. It's about your well-being, your relationships, your purpose.
Using money as a tool to create a life you truly value.
Wow, we've covered so much today. From the money blueprint to those wealth files, fear, risk, even this whole idea of what wealth actually means.
It's been quite a journey.
Eker's book is full of amazing insights.
And you've asked such insightful questions.
Well, you've been an amazing guide helping to connect all the dots.
Oh, thanks. But the real work starts now, you know?
Right, putting these ideas into practice.
Eker's all about taking action, experimenting.
Becoming active participants, not just passive listeners.
Exactly. And I want to leave you with this final thought from Eker.
Okay, hit me with it.
The only way to permanently change the temperature in the room is to reset the thermostat.
Wow, that's a great analogy for what we've been talking about.
Right. Lasting change comes from hefting those deeper beliefs.
Upgrading that internal financial thermostat. This has been an amazing deep dive.
It really has.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insights.
It's been my pleasure. And to you listening, what resonated with you today? Which wealth file will you upgrade first? Keep those thoughts going, and until next time, happy diving.